Hey guys, it's Madison. In the last few weeks, I have definitely not put as much time towards my language studying as I would have liked to. Number one, just because I had a busy couple of weeks, and then number two, I just didn't make use of the time that I did have to study very much. So I've decided that today I'm going to set aside some time to go ahead and try to be pretty productive in the area of language learning. Today's Tuesday, which means I don't have to go in and teach any of my university classes, and I also don't happen to have any online teaching classes scheduled for today either, which means that it's a good day to not only get some things done for my teaching classes and get ahead, get prepared, but also to set aside a few hours and work on some language stuff. It's around 3 p.m. right now, and I'm just sitting down to get started. I'm hoping to do around 3 hours of study today. I'm going to start off with some Korean stuff. I'm not sure if I'm going to switch to Japanese at any point. I'm going to kind of just study what I feel like studying as time progresses. I don't really have any hard set goals for exactly what I want to get done. I'm just hoping to get around 3 hours of study done. But like I said, we'll see. The first thing that I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to pull up Naver and look at some of the trending articles on the main Naver homepage. One of the areas I'm trying to get better at right now is like reading / news, kind of current events, that kind of vocabulary. So hopefully by occasionally reading some trending news articles on Naver, or trending at least current events articles on Naver, I can get better in that area of my vocabulary. So let's see what is trending. So the Naver homepage has changed a lot since the last time that I used it. I don't know where the trending topics list that used to be on the top right went. So yeah, I ended up reading actually a blog post by some random person I found on the internet who talked about why they chose to go into linguistics rather than Korean literature, which is their original plan. It was a pretty interesting read, decently long, but man, every time I read a written article or even a blog post like this, I realize how different written Korean is from just conversational Korean. I'm so confident, generally speaking, when I listen to conversational Korean, but then I sit down and read something and look up every other word and I realize, wow, there are a lot of words that either I just flat out haven't heard of before, or I've forgotten, or I'm like, I think that's this word, let me look it up and double check. So I really should probably read more to improve that. That is the goal anyway. But yeah, I'm kind of tired of reading. I was thinking about going and reading one of my novels next, but I don't really feel like reading more right this second. So what I'm probably gonna do instead is dig into this book, Korean Grammar and Use, the intermediate version. Haven't opened this book in a very long time. Apparently I'm about, I don't know if that is like a fourth of the way through the book. I will say that at this point, 11 years into my Korean learning journey, I know most of the topics in here, but I kind of, rather than using it as like a way to learn new grammar points, I like to kind of use it as a review. Like for example, for a certain grammar point, if there are certain sentences that it shouldn't be used in, or that it's usually used in, this book also does a good job of like comparing similar constructions and when they're most often used. So I just kind of use it as a review and to glean any extra information that I don't already know about the topics that I have learned before. So yeah, I'm probably gonna go through to a topic or two from this book and then move on to something else. 여름? 왜 여드름이 많이 나왔어요? 오늘 치료를 받고 나서 절반 화장을 하지 말도록 하세요. As you can probably tell because of the crappier lighting and the dark circles that are now under my eyes, it is later in the evening now. It's almost 11 o'clock. So several hours have passed since the last update. I did end up studying 2 chapters from this grammar book. The 2 subjects were 또록하다, and then the other one was 지 그래요 or 지 그랬어요. Like I said, I've seen both of these structures before, but I actually ended up learning new things in each of the little sections here. So definitely worth my time. Like for example, I didn't know that you couldn't use 도록하세요 with like 서, you have to use 으니까 instead if you give a reason. Same thing for the 지 그래요, you have to use 으니까 rather than 서 if you're giving a reason. Didn't know that. And then those are the 2 sections of that chapter. So after that, I also did the chapter little quiz thing that's at the end of each chapter and got them all right. There was one I wasn't sure about, but I was right on that one too. My intuition led me to the correct answer. So that's good. So yeah, I read that blog article earlier, did those grammar points earlier as well. And like I said, the reason it's nighttime now is because after I did those 2 grammar points, my brother was done with his work for the day and wanted to watch some drama episodes. Best brother ever, right? He and I are watching Crash Landing on You right now. I've seen it before, but it's his first time watching it. So we ended up watching a couple of episodes of that and eating dinner, and that's why it's now 11 o'clock rather than whatever time it was earlier when I finished the grammar. So yeah, I'm hoping to do a little bit more before I go to bed for the day, and I don't know what I'm feeling like. I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do is read a little bit of Maru Butake, which is the novel that I'm currently reading. I think I'm gonna do a close read, which is what I call when I like look up every single word that I either don't know the meaning of or I'm like, well, I think it's this, but let me check. I'm gonna go ahead and write down all those words. I'll probably just jot them down on a piece of paper, not do anything fancy, but just kind of see what words I don't know on these pages. I think I'm gonna try and read, I don't know, I think since I already read a blog post earlier, I'm not gonna try and do too much of this novel. I'll probably just do, there's kind of a break, 4 single pages later, so I'm probably just gonna do those 4 pages and then we'll see if I feel like doing anything else today. So yeah, I just finished reading those 4 pages. Instead of writing down the words, I just decided to look them up and just look at the meaning and then move on because it's a lot faster to read that way. Even so, because I was close reading, looking up, literally every single word I didn't know or wasn't totally sure about, it did take me about 25 minutes to read the 3.5 pages that I read. So there you go. I did end up keeping track just for fun, how many words I looked up per page. Yeah, so the first page I read was 8 words I didn't know. I was like, well, not bad. I thought it was more than that. Next page, 10 words. Okay, a little more. Next page, 16 words. Going up, aren't we? And then the last page, 12 words. And you might think, okay, good, it went down 16 to 12, right? But the last page was just a half page. So yeah, now it's around 11:20 p.m. And since I have to teach in the morning, I don't really feel like doing that much more like active studying right now. So what I'm probably going to do is go ahead and get ready for bed and then lay in bed and watch a 1-hour variety show. I'm probably going to watch Yonei Tamgam, which is a variety show where some hosts kind of just talk about like dating situations that people send in and analyze them and give advice and stuff. And it's fun to watch and see what kind of crazy people and crazy relationships exist in the world. So yeah, I'm probably gonna end the day with that. Probably not gonna film that, but in total it ended up being around an hour of work to go through that blog post and read the entire thing and check new vocab and stuff. And then the grammar book I did ended up being around 20 minutes. And then finally that novel reading I just did was 25 minutes. So total, it took me way too long just to add an hour, 25 and 20 in my head just now, but an hour and 45 minutes total, plus the variety show I'm going to watch will make it around 2 hours and 45 minutes total. I guess I can also count the episodes of Crash Landing on You that my brother and I watched earlier, but I'm not going to count it just because I watched that with English subtitles and the variety show I watched without subtitles. So I feel like that's more of an actual learning experience compared to watching a show with English subtitles. Didn't end up studying Japanese. Again, like I said at the beginning, I wasn't sure I was going to in the first place, so I don't really mind. And honestly, it was kind of nice just to spend some time in Korean and kind of get back in the groove. But yeah, with that, I am going to go get ready for bed and watch that variety show. So until next time, annyeong.